I've got
The blah, 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 blah.
tannin teeth.
That's okay. We get that after all day of wine tasting. So we're here with Rebecca Pittock of Ghost Hill Cellars out of the Willamette Valley in Oregon. And we just got done with the Yam Hill Carton wine tasting. It's really cool.
It was great.
It was great.
We had a wonderful turnout.
Yep.
It was nice.
So Rebecca, can you introduce yourself to the Winefoot crowd a little bit about your background, who you are,
Okay.
and a little bit about maybe about your brand, your Ghost Hill, how you came up with that, and why should they pay attention to you? Because it's a very competitive market.
It is a very competitive market. I've got actually a really interesting story to most people. It's I'm actually an F-15 mechanic for the Oregon Air National Guard, and going on for just over 11 years. Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyhow, and in 2005, I was basically tired of driving to Portland Airport every day from McMinnville, which most people don't realize that it takes you an hour to get to the freeway, and then it's like another half hour to hour, depending on traffic, just to get to the airport.
For the record, thank you for your service, first and foremost. Appreciate it.
I love it. I really enjoy it. So I had 9-hour work days plus drive time. Sometimes it was 14-hour days. I have 2 small children, burned out. And so I decided to go back to doing the weekend warrior thing, and the question was, what else could I do that I would love as much as working on jets? And decided to open a wine shop on a whim in McMinnville, and that ran until February of 2007, when I decided, for many reasons, to close it. And in 2007, I was asked by T-Bill Monday at Willa Kinsey to intern with them for harvest, and so that was my first experience in the cellar, and he was adamant that I needed to be making wine and not selling wine. So fast forward to the spring of 2008, running the operations for the Trappist Abbey Wine Warehouse. I developed a concept for them called Northwest Wines to You that partners with small producers and helps them legally sell and ship their wine all over the country. And in order to do that, we needed to have a winery license. And so I met Mike and Brenda Bayless from the Bayless Bower Vineyard, and they had just started the small brand of Ghost Hill Cellars and needed a winemaker. As well as it turns out, apparently, I need to make wine. So 2008, they gave me that opportunity. We made 8 barrels of Pinot Noir, less than 200 cases, just sold out actually. And 2009, we did 16 barrels. We doubled our entire production.
Yeah.
In 2010, we added to the mix about just under 400 cases of a Pinot Noir Blanc, as well as around 100 cases of a dry rosé. And so those are our current vintages. And we're small, we're extremely hands-on. It's all estate grown. Everything we do, I like to say, we are 100% Pinot. Everything that's made for Ghost Hill is 100% Pinot Noir. We just do it in 3 different styles.
Yeah.
We do a white, a red, and a rosé. And it's a lot of fun. It's been a great experience.
So, what is your personal passion behind winemaking? Like, what stylistically or whatever that you go after that you personally are just in love with?
Well, I was a foreign exchange student with Rotary to France in high school, so I lived in Arcachon for a year, southwest of Bordeaux. So I cut my wine teeth, so to speak, at 16 years old, on beautiful French wines. And so I guess you could say that we're very old world driven. I like good acidity, I like lower alcohols, I like wines that are more elegant, less fruit bomb. I try to let the vineyards do the speaking, and just my job is to stay out of the way and not screw it up, basically. And so I think our wines speak to that. And our Pinot Noir Blanc is got just intense, beautiful aromatics, tropical tones, tree fruits and such, but very good acidity, and it's bone dry. There's no residual sugar.
Yeah.
Our Pinot Noirs are all under 14% alcohol, even the 2009 vintage, which was a challenge. Because I was literally biting my nails. Your fruit was very hot, so the sugar is climbing faster than the tannins were ripening, and we got very lucky, found the sweet spot, and just rather than, some people like to just push. Well, I want people to be able to taste all the complexity and all the elegance that this fruit has, not just be smashed in the face with a bunch of fruit. So we do very little new oak. so the fruit can really speak. Our vineyard provides a lot of structure, and it surprises a lot of people when they taste the wine and I tell them that, you know, both the 08 and 09 Pinots were less than 10% new oak.
Wow. And this is all out of the Hill, Cartland, AVA area?
100% from the Bayless Bauer Vineyard.
Okay.
And that land has been in Mike Bayless's family since 1906.
Wow.
And yes, there is a ghost. It's a great story. The hill was named Ghost Hill by the early settlers that homesteaded this area.
Do they know who the ghost is?
Well, there was a miner who was headed north, or we assume, probably from Southern Oregon, that had decided to camp out on top of the hill one night, and somebody snuck into his camp, killed him and his horse, and stole his poke of gold. And so people used to tell stories of seeing a rider on a horse looking for the one who stole his life and his gold.
Well, there you go.
And this last summer, I actually met the gal that's the last official known sighting of the ghost about 10 years ago. And I used to kind of, you know, oh, it's a great story, and I kind of chuckled and shrugged my shoulders over it. But let me tell you, you have one conversation with her and you're a believer, because she, to this day, when she talks about it, gets the look of terror in her face.
Wow.
We actually hope to build the winery on top of Ghost Hill someday. We're currently at Carlton Cellars, which is where we have been making the wine since the 2010 vintage.
And wouldn't that be cool if you built a facility and the ghost came in and inhabited that facility?
There's always that possibility.
That'd be almost a badge of honor.
It would. It would
Yeah.
be great. I'd love that.
There you go. So he'd be a welcome guest.
Absolutely. In
Yeah.
fact, Mike constantly tells people we don't want anyone scaring the ghost away.
There you go.
So our wines are always available to taste at Carlton Cellars in their tasting room.
But you have a website though
And we have
at
a
Ghost Hill,
website.
right?
We have a website, and that website will transfer you to Northwest Wines to you, because that's who we sell and ship online through, so that
Right.
everything's legal.
But I mean, if people go to Ghost Hill Cellars, they can Google that and that'll
Yes.
point them to the right
Yes,
site, right?
absolutely. And we do tastings at the home of the Baylesses by appointment. So the phone number's on the website. If they're going to be in the area, I strongly recommend you give them a call. They are the most charming couple and wonderful to me. And if it's a nice day out, Mike will take you up on the hill and show you where the ghost is and the vineyard and the whole
It'd be
nine
great
yards.
to see it.
They'll roll out the red carpet.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank